Good day, folks, and welcome to review number 32. I have another Figuarts review on tap today. Today we're going to look at the SH Figuarts Kamen Rider O's TaToBa combo. As with most Figuarts, it's a fairly standard packaging setup you have here. You have the clear window down the front displaying the figure. On the left side of the front you have the Kamen Rider O's TaToBa set up with the red, yellow, and green metals. You have an image of TaToBa on the right hand side, and there is kind of a nice etching of one of the core metals there on the bottom of the clear part of the window. The back of the packaging features additional photos of the TaToBa figure in various poses, and it's one thing I don't think I've pointed out on other packaging before. This is actually a Bluefin US release, and the main way you can tell that is by this little sticker here at the bottom. They include the choking hazard label with the little Bluefin distribution logo. So that's one way you can tell the difference between a Japanese import and a US distribution. The sides of the packaging don't really add a whole lot on this particular packaging. It's just wrapping around of the front logo here and the front image here. So there's not a whole lot on the sides. So here we have the TaToBa figure itself. I'm going to start off the bat here and say that I do have mixed feelings about this, and we'll go over all the finer points here in just a bit. Start off though, he's pretty typical Figuarts with ball jointed head, neck, the multi-jointed shoulder here, double jointed elbow, ball jointed wrists, the multi-jointed hip joint there, double jointed knees, and multi-jointed ankle there, and the toe joint. So as far as the basics of a Figuart, that's all there. We'll start off with the positive aspects, and then work our way into some of the negative aspects that I have with this figure. Starting off with the head, the red metallic that they use for the paint on the head really does look sharp. And another thing, this is my first Kamen Rider Figuart review here. One of the things that I love about the Kamen Rider Figuarts are their compound eyes. They do a great job of putting a shaped part behind the clear plastic there to give it the look of the segmented eyes. Another really nice touch with this particular figure is the henshin belt. They use nice clear plastic in here to help represent the metals, and it also has the actual articulation to tilt like it does when he's activating it. They also included the separate scanner accessory, so you can put this in his hand and simulate him scanning the metals. Unfortunately, now here we have to move on to some of the problems I've found with this figure. Some of this may be me nitpicking a little bit. It may just be a one-off issues with this figure too. One of the problems I've got is it seems to be pretty common in the toy industry in general, is whenever you have a light paint applied to dark plastic, especially the yellow in this case applied to the black, it seems like it's been applied a little thin. You've got a lot of black showing through and kind of darkens the edges of it. You've got places where the paint's thin on the hands here. So there's just a few issues with the yellow paint job on O's here. And speaking of the hands, there's an issue I've got with the articulation on the hands. The blades that TaToBa has on his arms are attached by kind of a bracelet here, and unfortunately this really restricts the ball joint that's in there and limits it mostly to just a pivot joint. So in a way, that ball joint in the wrist on this figure gets wasted. There's actually also a similar problem with the ankles here. Because of these anklets, it limits the movement of both the side-to-side tilt and the backwards tilt of the ankle. So ankle posability, while it's not as limited as the wrists are, it's still restricted. As with most Figuarts here, you have a number of accessories. You have several different hands here. You have a couple open hands, and then you'll notice 3 closed hands. There are 2 closed right hands, one for gripping the sword and the other for gripping the scanner for the henshin. You have TaToBa's sword, and then you also have extended claws, so you can pull off the retracted claws that are on his arms right now and replace them with the extended ones. I really do like the design of Kamen Rider O's, and TaToBa in particular. I suppose that just makes it more disappointing in finding the faults I have with this figure. His articulation, while sufficient in most cases, does pose a problem. The ankle limitation in particular can be frustrating when trying to balance the figure in an action pose. I'm more disappointed, though, in the paint job. As a collectible figure, you would expect the paint job quality to be better than, say, a $10 deluxe Bumblebee figure. Unfortunately, in at least this particular case, it isn't. This is more frustrating when you put him on a shelf next to another Kamen Rider figure that does have that quality paint job you would expect. As a fan of O's, I am satisfied to have this figure in my collection. I just wish it could have lived up to my expectations.